Introducing the all-new Italiano range of pizza. Pizza Ultimo. Pizza Hut.
You're watching News First Primetime News. Up next is Action TV.
Last Wednesday, Action TV revealed that this boy is facing the challenge of proving that he was enrolled to and received education for a period of 2 weeks at the Wallasmulla Model Primary School. Although this boy's classmates acted honestly, giving strength to his claim that he had indeed been a student at this school, the investigation undertaken by the Wallasmulla Zonal Education Office with the intention of seeing justice done for this student was a half-hearted one. While conducting this investigation, 2 directors at the Wallasmulla Zonal Education Office and the Divisional Education Director had failed to pay any heed to the testimony of the boys' classmates. The conduct of those responsible authorities at Zonal and Divisional Education Offices is not cause for surprise. This is because, in spite of the fact of ample evidence to the effect that this school had committed major mistakes in enrolling students to grade 1 this year, the respective Zonal and Divisional Education authorities have shown scant regard to this matter. The evidence in this case is provided by this student record book. This record book has been issued for a student who did not receive education at the school between 1984 and 1989. The record book then was issued in order to have her son enrolled to the school this year on the basis of being the son of a past pupil of the student. The woman in question has submitted written notification to the Zonal and Divisional Education Officers as to the false nature of this record book and the persons who prepared it. This must be considered as the second copy of a student record book. The power to issue such a copy is vested with the Zonal Education Director. Thereby, the first mistake that has been made here is the misuse of a power vested in the Zonal Education Director by the school. The second mistake is the preparation of a false document using a power that they do not possess. Shouldn't the officials responsible for placing a child in a predicament where they would later have to affirm their parentage be punished so as to ensure that school authorities will not seek to carry out such grossly illegal acts in the future? Minister of Education in the Southern Province, this one is over to you.
Staying in local news, an event to mark the 100th birth anniversary of the late Saumyamurthy Thondaman, a political icon, was held in Colombo yesterday.
The event held at the new Kadiration Hall in Bambalapitiya was organized by the Indo-Lanka People's Federation. General Secretary of the Ceylon Workers' Congress, Minister Arumugam Thondaman, garlanded a portrait of the late Saumyamurthy Thondaman at this occasion. A number of prominent personalities, including politicians and public officials, attended the event held under the patronage of former Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, N.N. Jha.
If I were to place Mr. Thondaman in the history of the second half of the 20th century, I would think of him as a heroic figure, struggling against immense odds until he reached his final goal. There were ways in which Mr. Thondaman really helped. He helped the economy, he helped the industry, he helped the labor. And I think on an occasion like this, when one celebrates his 100th birth anniversary, I think this should all inspire us.
வன்முறை போராட்டம் 30 வருட காலம் தொடரப்பட்டு மீண்டும்
The armed struggle went on for 30 years, and once again we have come to a period where minorities have to take on a non-violent struggle and take it forward. When looking at what can be achieved through such a non-violent struggle, there is no better example than the late Mr. Thondaman. That is the scale of the political record that he has left behind.
இவற்றையெல்லாம் சாதிக்க முடியும் என்பதற்கு அமரர் தொண்டமானை விடவும் சிறந்த ஒரு உதார புருஷரை நாங்கள் காண முடியாது என்கிற அளவுக்கு அவர் எங்களுக்கு ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய அரசியல் சாதனையை.
On to sports news this evening, another controversial incident related to the game of cricket has come to the fore. Allegations have been levelled that a representative of a suspected bookie had visited the room of an Indian cricketer during India's tour to Sri Lanka in 2010. The chairman of the Punjab Cricket Association in India, I.S. Bindra, revealed this incident on his website.
The following is the content mentioned in the website of I.S. Bindra, chairman of the Punjab Cricket Association. Quote, on India's tour of Sri Lanka in 2010, due to LTT operation, a retired general of Sri Lankan Army was given charge of the Indian team's security, and he ensured the tightest security arrangements, including installing CCTV cameras on every floor and the lobby of hotels where the Indian team was staying. At night, an official travelling with his team had taken a girl into the room of an Indian player who is also a prominent member of the CSK team for the last 6 seasons. It was observed on the footage that the girl spent the night prior to a game. It was so alleged that the girl was sent by an individual on the ICC's list of suspected bookies. This incident was in gross violation of security as well as anti-corruption regulations. On the basis of the General's report, the Sri Lankan board reported these sordid details in writing to the team manager along with the documentary evidence, and also informed anti-corruption officials of the ICC. It is understood that under pressure from an official of the Indian board, the Sri Lankan board was made to withdraw the report. Mihir Bose filed this story in the Sunday Times, which was rubbished by the BCCI spokesperson. And also, Sri Lanka Cricket Board was arm-twisted into denying the whole episode. The Indian team that toured Sri Lanka in 2010 played the first test match of the series on the 18th of July. Captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Suresh Raina and Murali Vijay, who were part of the Indian side that toured Sri Lanka in 2010, played for the Chennai Super Kings in the recently concluded Indian Premier League. Mahendra Singh Dhoni captained the Chennai Super Kings in all 6 IPL tournaments. Meanwhile, Sports First made inquiries regarding this incident from Dulip Mendes, who was the Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lanka Cricket during India's tour to Sri Lanka in 2010. Dulip Mendes stated that since he was preparing to vacate the position of CEO, he was not directly involved in the operations at Sri Lanka Cricket. Issuing a communique today, Sri Lanka Cricket stated that it was surprised by the incident that supposedly took place. Sri Lanka Cricket denied such an incident took place and no reports was submitted regarding the alleged incident. DS De Silva and Nishant Ranatunga served as President and Secretary of Sri Lanka Cricket respectively in the year 2010.
Now, Tournament Director of the Sri Lanka Premier League, Ajit Jayasekara, says the SLPL will be held in Sri Lanka as scheduled. Jayasekara made this statement in response to inquiries made by Sports First regarding a statement made to the local media by Minister of Sports Mahindananda Ardgamage, noting that hosting the SLPL this year is in doubt as franchise owners have left the tournament.
In some tennis news, Maria Kirilenko eased into the French Open quarterfinals as she secured a convincing victory over US Bethany Mattek-Sands. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic qualified through to the quarterfinals against Philippe Kohlschreiber.
The current points table on the tennis French Open men's singles round 4 results stands as: taking the lead, Serbian Novak Djokovic beat the German Philipp Kohlschreiber with a score of 4-6, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. Meanwhile, Maria Kirilenko beat Bethany Mattek-Sands with a match score of 7-5, 6-4. Victoria Azarenka, who has already won this year's Australian Open, defeated the 2010 Roland Garros winner 6-3, 6-love.
For it to sink in.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of News First Primetime News. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Good night.